On the north face of the Great Pyramid, 17 meters up, there is a door that was never meant to be found. The Greek geographer Strabo stood in front of it in the 1st century BC and wrote down what he saw. A hinged slab of solid stone balanced so perfectly that a single man could swing it open by pressing one block, yet set so flush with the casing that when it was closed, it left no seam. No handle, no mark of any kind. From the outside, the greatest building on Earth had no entrance at all. Mainstream Egyptology calls it a clever anti-theft device, a hidden door to protect a tomb. That answer has stood for over a century, but it cannot explain the engineering. A slab weighing as much as 12 cars, mounted on a central pivot, balanced to the push of a single hand. And here's the part that should stop you. It was never really a door. It was one moving part of a machine. In the next few minutes, you'll see what the ancient records actually describe, how 20 tons of stone was balanced to the weight of a human hand, and why an army with tools could not find the entrance that one finger was built to open. If forbidden ancient history fascinates you, hit subscribe. Every week we look at what the textbooks state and never explain. But here's what makes this stranger. The pivot door was not unique. It was not a one-off trick built for one pharaoh. The same design, a heavy stone slab swinging on a central pivot, cut to vanish into the wall around it, appears at more than one pyramid. Which means it was not improvised. It was a standard, a known method, reproduced from one monument to the next, the way a modern engineer reuses a proven part. And that single fact breaks the official story in half, because a robber-proof door for a single burial would be designed once, for one chamber. A repeated mechanism built to the same tolerances at different sites by different crews. Across generations is not security. It is technology. It is a civilization that had a working design for balancing tons of stone on a hidden axis and used it as a matter of routine. This was not a lock. This was a machine. And the proof is still sitting in the desert where anyone can measure it. This is not speculation, and it is not fringe reinterpretation. It is the most carefully measured entrance in Egypt. There is one pyramid where the original doorway survived intact. The bent pyramid at Dashur, built a generation before the Great Pyramid. And when Sir Flinders Petrie, the father of scientific archaeology, examined that entrance, he found the mechanism still cut into the stone. On either side of the passage, opposite each other, two sockets, roughly 9 centimeters across, 14 centimeters deep, set 15 centimeters down from the top of the passage. Petrie's conclusion was plain. These were hinge sockets. The pivots, a heavy stone door, once swung on. So this is not a legend repeated by tour guides. It is a physical fact, measured to the centimeter by the most respected surveyor in the field more than a century ago. The pivot door was real. The question the measurement raises is the one no one wants to ask out loud. Here is the problem, in the language a builder would use. To balance a 20-ton slab so that one hand can move it, the center of mass of the entire block has to sit almost exactly on the pivot axis. Not close, almost exactly, within a margin of millimeters. Move the balance point a few centimeters off, and the door either jams shut under its own weight or swings open on its own. To get a single stone cut by hand from solid limestone to balance like that, you have to know the precise weight distribution of the block before you ever stand it up. Now add the second requirement. The same door had to close so perfectly flush with the casing stones around it that the seam disappeared. No gap a fingernail could catch. That means the outer face of a swinging 20-ton door had to match the polished surface of the pyramid to the same tolerance as every fixed block beside it. Those two requirements pull against each other. A door light enough to open easily tends to be crude. A block precise enough to vanish into a polished wall tends to be locked in place. To get both perfectly balanced and perfectly hidden is not a stonemason's job. It is a machinist's. And then comes the line the textbooks always skip. In the year 820, the Caliph al-Ma'mun came to open the Great Pyramid. He had an army. He had iron tools, fire, and vinegar to crack the stone. He had every resource the medieval world could offer, and he could not find the door. It was so perfectly flush, so completely without seam, that his men could not tell where the entrance was. So they did the only thing they could. They began to dig, blind, straight into solid limestone, hacking a crude tunnel through the body of the pyramid, hoping to break into a passage by luck. Think about what that means. 800 years ago, a determined army with tools could not even locate the door. But according to Strabo, 3,000 years earlier, one man, pressing one stone, could open it. That is the line they walk past. The part that should not be possible is the part modern engineering confirms. We can balance heavy doors today. A bank vault door can weigh 20 tons and still swing on the touch of a hand because we machine it. We calculate the center of mass to the millimeter with software, cast the counterweight to spec, and mount it on engineered bearings. The physics is completely real. A perfectly balanced 20-ton pivot door is not magic. That is exactly the problem. Everything modern engineering tells us about how to build that door describes a process of precise measurement, known weight distribution, and fine-tuned balance. It describes a workshop. What it does not describe is copper chisels, wooden sledges, and crews who, according to the official story, had no tool for measuring the weight of a block before lifting it. The mechanism the Egyptians left behind is mechanically optimal. It is the solution a trained engineer would arrive at, and that is the uncomfortable part. The door is not too primitive to explain. It is too good. So why have you never heard this? Because the evidence has been quietly taken apart. The Great Pyramid's original pivot door is gone, preed away centuries ago, along with the polished casing stones that once made the whole monument gleam. What you walk through today as a tourist is not the entrance the builders made. It is the whole al-Ma'mun smashed because he couldn't find the real one. The one surviving mechanism out at Dashur is labeled on the signs with a single flat word: entrance. No mention of the balance, no mention of the tolerances, no mention that an army once failed to do what a fingertip was built to do. The mechanism is still there. The explanation has simply been allowed to go missing, which for a door designed to be invisible is almost fitting. Now here's where it gets active, in our own lifetime. In the year 2023, the ScanPyramids project did something al-Ma'mun could only have dreamed of. Instead of digging, they used cosmic rays, muons, particles raining down from space that pass through solid stone and reveal hollow spaces behind it. And directly behind the north face entrance, right where the hidden door once sat, the muons found a void. A corridor about 9 meters long, sealed, that no one had entered in 45 centuries. They threaded a tiny endoscope camera through a gap in the stones and looked inside. A vaulted ceiling, an empty waiting space exactly behind the door that was built to vanish. So the mechanism wasn't hiding a tomb, it was sealing something. And only now, with particles from the sky, are we finally able to ask what the door was holding shut without smashing the wall to find out. Now let me be clear. I am not telling you the Great Pyramid was powered, or that the door ran on some lost energy. A counterweighted pivot door is real, buildable physics. A disciplined team, with knowledge we cannot fully account for, could have made one. That is the honest position. But the official story stops there and never asks the next question. Where does a civilization, at the very beginning of its recorded history, get the precision to balance 20 tons on a hidden axis and fit it flush to a polished wall? And why does that mechanism appear already perfect at the bent pyramid, and then, within a few generations, never appear again? The door is gone now. What's left is the hole an army made because they couldn't find the seam. One hand was meant to open. The mechanism that beat them is still out in the desert at Dashur, measured, photographed, and labeled entrance. The only thing no one has explained is who taught the first builders to make a 20-ton stone behave as if it weighed nothing, and why, after the very first time. That knowledge was never used again.
If you enjoyed this documentary and want more forbidden places, ancient mysteries, dark history, and unexplained stories from around the world, subscribe to Cursed Earth. Because some of the world's darkest stories are completely real.